What's going on, everybody? We're out cruising this new home development on the TUTTIO Adria26, inexpensive dual motor e-bike. Let me show you what I'm on here. This beautiful blue bike, a lot of fun, lots of fun. TUTTIO Adria26. It's about, I think, $13.99 for this thing. Dual motors, 52-volt battery system, 30 amp hour on the battery pack. Close to 40 mile an hour on this thing. Great power, great speed, great launch off the line. I like this one a lot. And I've actually reviewed several of these budget-friendly dual motor e-bikes recently. If you want to see the review on this, check my channel. But, you know, they were all very similar. But I think this one was probably my favorite of the bunch for a couple different reasons. And when all these bikes were coming in, I looked at a bike from WALLKE and from ANDSKY, and also, what was the other one? The PHILODO Forester 60-volt dual motor e-bike. They were all priced very similar. They were all under $2,000. I think they were all under like 1,700 bucks. So budget friendly power on all of them. And when all these bikes were coming in, they just so happened to be when Papa Citizen was here as well. So I made him go out and ride each one of these inexpensive dual motor e-bikes and kind of write down some of his notes about it. And today I want to show you that commentary. So we'll show you that footage of us kind of going back and forth and talking about what we like and don't like about the bike. So if you're looking for inexpensive dual motor e-bike, maybe this will help you in making a buying decision, because there's probably a really good chance that you've looked at least at one of these four e-bikes. What's going on, everyone? We have a selection of 26x4 fat tire e-bikes here. All of them are dual motor e-bikes. They're all under $2,000. And we've got Papa Citizen in town to give us his thoughts, because he had a chance to test ride all these bikes earlier today. So he's going to kind of go through some of his notes, things he knows about them. Maybe it'll help you in your buying decision if you're looking for a dual motor bike under $2,000. All right, are you ready to give me some thoughts on these things? You can start however you want to start. I see you got your notes right.
Yeah, I have to refer to my notes because all these bikes were kind of similar in things, and so I had to make notes on it. I thought they all had good suspension, good seating. They were all pretty comfortable, stability-wise. They are all cadence sensor, and they all have right-hand throttle, which is what I like.
Yeah, these bikes have a lot of similar parts. I mean, I think 3 of them have the same identical brakes, because this is the DY Island brakes, DY Island brakes. This is the only different one. This is Logan, but they have the same button cluster. You see that? This gray button cluster that everybody started using now. Every one of them seems to have that. They all have the same shifters. They have all cadence sensors, like you said. A lot of similarities on these bikes.
Well, I guess we'll start with the
TUTTIO. I guess.
Okay.
It's Italian.
I got some names here for these things. First of all, I'm going to say that on 3 of the bikes, I don't really care for the handlebars. I like the BMX handlebars. I like to be up a little bit higher. These cause me to have to lean over a little bit, and sometimes I find myself riding with just my fingertips on the handlebars there so that I can lean back a little bit.
Okay, so you like the upright ride position just like I do. This one's got an adjustable stem on it, so it is kind of a pretty good seating position. What else?
This one here, doesn't give you the motor selection in the display, but you don't need it because it's got basically an on-off button for single motor versus dual motor, which I love, because this having to cycle through the display to get to the different front wheel, rear wheel, both wheel, is kind of cumbersome for me. So I do like that. When I first started riding it, it seemed like the front end steering was real light to me. It seemed like it steered really easy.
It's a light bike.
This particular bike's, got good takeoff power. It will not spin the front tire, but it's got good speed. It'll get you up to around 40 mile an hour. So it's a nice bike. I couldn't really find anything wrong with that bike.
Yeah, I like this one. It's got great power, great speed, and it grips really well. You don't spin the front wheel. It takes off really well. You're right. And the light steering could be because the bike is pretty light. It's only 88 pounds for a dual motor bike.
All right, the next one, the
PHILODO Forester. PHILODO, I guess how you say it? I don't know. Let me get this one out of the way. All right, hit me. What do you know about PHILODO?
The handlebars, again, we're the flat handlebars where I'd prefer to be up a little bit higher on those. It's got good takeoff speed. It spins the front tire, and we'll talk about that in a little while. The overall, speed on this one was also around 40 mile an hour, so it got up and took right off when you hit it, and it worked. It set you back. However, we found that takeoff to be a little sporadic. That sometimes when you hit that throttle, you're not getting that front wheel spin. If you're trying to cross traffic and you're up there ready to go and you hit that throttle, you're expecting that bike to take off. And if it don't dig in with that front wheel, you're going pretty slow. I don't know if you want to explain what you found.
I mean, I noticed that too when I rode it. It was kind of sporadic on when the front wheel would spin and when wouldn't. From what I can tell is when the bike's already moving and you hit the throttle, it takes off like crazy and the wheel spins.
Mm-hmm.
And from a stop, it seems to not do that all the time. It has a gradual launch most of the time. But if you're rolling down the road and you come to a stop and the display is still reading like 6 miles an hour, it slowly comes down and you hit the throttle again quick from a stop, then it burns out again. So I don't know, it wasn't as consistent on when that front wheel kicks in and when it doesn't for me.
It's a problem with that then, because a lot of times, you want it to hit and it don't hit, and then it's not going to hit. So then you hit the throttle as you're going down the road a little bit, and then all of a sudden it hits and that front wheel starts spinning on you.
I think the front wheel is meant to be a gradual takeoff, but there's certain times where the bike, I think, maybe gets confused or something and it thinks you're already moving and it does the front wheel burnout, spin out thing.
The other thing with this does have switching between the motors. It's a cycle. You have to hold the button down or double hit it, I can't remember which, and it cycles through. It's kind of cumbersome. I have other bikes that are that way too, and you just have to kind of learn how to deal with it.
And this one I thought had the best suspension as far as the rear shock goes, because you got the adjustable air shock. Every other bike here, they're non-adjustable. So this one you could dial it in, and I found it pretty soft actually. I thought it rode pretty good on the rear suspension. All right, next we got this one. This is probably the bike I've spent the least amount of time with so far because it just came in. I had a chance to ride it a few times and get a feel for it. I love the color.
Yeah, the color is great.
Awesome. This is so loud. It looks fantastic going down the road with the green, lime green, everything. Even the wheels are lime green. Man, is it loud. What do you think of this one?
Well, again, I love the color. Handlebars are not BMX, so that's a negative for me. It's got fair takeoff power, does not spin the front wheel, and it maxes out about 35 mile an hour. Matter of fact, when you're riding this one and you get it to 35 mile an hour, the motor quits.
Yep.
That's your max on it.
I felt that too. All right, now on this one, I thought the rear shock was pretty good. It felt pretty soft. I like them soft. It's non-adjustable, but I think it had one of the better shocks. The TUTTIO was really stiff for me, so I like this rear suspension better. And this has double crown front forks. I got this piece here and here. Mm-hmm. So it does feel a little, I don't know, maybe more stable up front. None of them they're all pretty budget on the fork part of it.
Yeah, I really couldn't find anything dramatically wrong with this bike. I mean, it rode good, performed well. Again, you have to cycle through the setting or the buttons cluster to change your motors. A couple of them have your key on and off here.
Yeah, what'd you think of that?
Well, it was on, so I didn't have to turn it on to remember to do it.
I mean, this kind of bothers me, having this sticking out, because if you snap that off, then your key's stuck in there, because it can't come out. It's got to stay in there.
Okay.
It only comes out when you turn the bike off, and you can remove it. So I wasn't a fan of that. I was worried I was going to hit it with my knee in a turn, but I never did.
I guess you don't have to worry if you wreck the bike and snapped it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If your bike falls over and hits something, and then that key snaps off.
It didn't really bother me too much. I've seen some bikes where the key goes in the bottom, the battery, and you got to leave it in there. And I don't really care for that either. It's hanging down. But this didn't bother me too much that way.
All right, and then we said top speed, what, 35-ish?
35.
And this one's a non-spinning front wheel. It grips pretty good on takeoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only ones that would spin, I think, are the WALLKE spins on takeoff, and the PHILODO can spin at times. This one is the WALLKE X3 Pro Max, and this is the only dual battery bike. There's one in the frame, there's one on the rear rack. This one has got a lot of unique features. So you got the dual battery packs. This is the only folding one. This one has mag wheels. It has a different set of brakes. It's got Logan brakes on it. I don't know, what were your impressions of this one?
Well, this is the one I thought I was going to like the best because it had the handlebars that I wanted. It was the most comfortable for me to ride of the 4 bikes. A little harder for me to get on, to mount this thing. I had to get my leg up pretty high to get over the back.
Rear rack is really
and
tall.
I don't twist as good as I used to. Again, dual battery, folding. I can't imagine anybody would ever try to fold this bike and then try to manhandle it somewhere, because I can't see anybody putting this stuff in this bike in a trunk. You'd never get it out.
Nope,
it's
never.
too heavy. Takeoff power was good. You get a slight spin on the front wheel. It doesn't spin as much as some of the other bikes I've ridden, but it bites good and gets going. Max speed on this is 30 mile an hour. That's all the faster I got it going to.
Yeah, I think I hit 30, 31 maybe on it.
Motor settings, again, you're same affair. You're cycling, I can't remember, is this a P1, P2, 3?
Now this one you hold the I button and you toggle through and it shows you the actual wheels on the screen.
Yeah. Sometimes that's showing you the wheels on the screen in a bright sunny day with me wearing glasses. I'm having a heck of a time looking to see what setting I'm in. So I really like the on-off. You either have it or you don't, or a 3-4-way switch where you can just slide a switch real quick and change your motor designation.
This is the only one I believe that has the adjustable fork with the micro adjustments. However, it's really soft. Only one with mag wheels. I didn't notice any difference with having mag wheels versus spoke.
No.
The suspension I liked. It was pretty soft. I mean, you could move it quite a bit. Initially, I had trouble with my back hitting into this, but I slid this battery and rack thing all the way back there so I could clear it, and now it's fine. And this one, you like the bars because I got them stood up here real tall.
Yep.
It's adjustable stem, so you liked having them real high like that.
I like to ride upright. I don't like to be leaning over.
It does have a long stretch from seat to here, though. It's like an extra 2 inches longer. So you're your arms go out quite a bit, I found anyway. All right, we threw them all back in the line here. I'm gonna talk first about features I like about them. So let's just start on this end. The WALLKE. What I like about this one, the suspension was pretty soft. I thought that was good. The amount of battery capacity is good, because when you have dual motors, high power like this, you're gonna chew through a lot of battery. That rear rack is a little bit high though, trying to swing your leg over that. It's got a pretty decent acceleration. You get just a little touch of wheel spin, but it takes off pretty nice. I wish the top speed was a little bit higher on it.
You know, just like you said, the high battery pack, getting my leg up over it, and the fact that it maxes out at 30 mile an hour. I do feel this was the bike that I was the most comfortable riding.
We're spoiled with all the powerful fast
Yes,
bikes I've got now.
I know.
So when it doesn't go like 40, we're like, I wish it went more.
Yeah, I know, and that's my problem. I get to see too many different bikes. And
All right, so that's WALLKE. On the green one, the ANDSKY Apex50. The rear suspension I thought was okay. The power feels pretty good. I mean, it delivers the power, I thought, pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, we wish it was a little faster. I think it's 35.
Maxes out at 35.
That's the display screen saying 35. I bet it's probably only going on 33.
And like you said before, that might not bother anybody else other than you and I, because right now we're used to going 45 mile an hour on these things, and 35 seems slow.
Yeah.
But for somebody who's going to do some casual riding, and that's perfectly fine. I mean,
all right, PHILODO, the Forester. So this is a 60 volt. This one had great power. As far as the fastest ones here, it's these two, the Adria and the PHILODO. Those are the fastest. They're 38, 39 mile an hour bikes. So it's got great power and great speed. It's the only one with the adjustable air shock. I like that. It's a little tricky with when that front motor engages. I think the display screen looks nice. It's the only one that's horizontal. I always like that better than the vertical screens.
I agree with everything you said. I like that bike. When I first rode it, I thought, boy, that's going to be it. But then with that sporadic takeoff, that really bothers me.
Yeah, I feel like they need to adjust that so it's always the same delivery. Whether you're rolling at 10 miles an hour or you're from a dead stop, it needs to engage the exact same way. And then TUTTIO Adria26. This one had great speed, great power, no front wheel spin, but man, does it launch. I like the seating position the best on this one, even though it has the adjustable stem there. I felt it was the most comfortable for me to be on. My toes do hit the front fender in turns, but you know, I can live with that.
Well, the biggest feature, the nicest feature that this one has is the on-off for your motor. Yeah, nice.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
Press of a button, and you can go from rear wheel to front to all wheel, just like that.
Yep, they got that.
And
right.
that is nice.
They got that right.
You know, like you said, good speed, good power, no wheel spin. Nice bike.
Okay, we've given a lot of commentary twice now, up and down the line of these. Okay, now the big decision.
Yeah, I know you want me to pick. You know, if I was spending,
you were going to spend.
If I'm spending my money, and I have these four to pick from, you know, based on performance, I would have to pick the blue one here, the Adria.
Adria26, the winner for Papa.
I like the push button for changing the motors. Price tags is good. Speed was good. Takeoff was okay. It was all right. Didn't spin. That would be my choice.
Okay. I would have to agree with you. I would agree. None of them are bad bikes, but I think the bang for your buck money-wise, I mean, the cheapest one is this one, and it's also probably the fastest one here. I thought the one with the best all-wheel drive launch. It had, I thought, the best ride position for me, and it had the the button over here to toggle, which we all, well, both of us like, instead of using the display screen. This would be my pick too. I think for freaking $1,400 to have that power and just, you know, close to 40-mile-an-hour speed on it. Because the things I don't like on it are the suspension. I think could be improved, but you can swap out forks and you can swap out this rear shock in like 5 minutes. Put an adjustable air shock in there and boom, you've kind of fixed your ride quality. Yeah, I would go with this one as well. So my father and I are very spoiled in the fact that we just get to ride all these bikes back to back and make direct comparisons. And you know, we each kind of felt like we would spend our money on the TUTTIO because what we like the ease of use of this push button all-wheel drive on, all-wheel drive off. There's no toggling through the menu. That was super easy. I like the ride position of this one. It was the lightest weight. It was the lightest in price. In the speed and the power. We love the speed and the power. We don't care so much about range. And this thing's got some good speed and power. I'll do a takeoff here for you from the stop. Go. Decent launch. That's all-wheel drive. It digs. It doesn't spin the front tire. And once it gets up and rolling, it's got some great speed. I mean, it says 43. I think a speedometer is a little bit fast. 44. We're probably going more like 37, 38 there. I think it's a few miles an hour fast, but close to 40 on this bike that costs like $1,300. Can't beat that, man. But I mean, all the bikes are decent bikes. I don't really have major complaints about any of them, but you got to think about what you want out of the bike. Maybe you're looking more for range. Well, the WALLKE bike has got the range over this one. Maybe you like the look of the PHILODO. I don't know. I mean, like I said, they're all fine bikes. I know it's tough out there to make a buying decision anymore. I can't believe that bikes like this are entering the market where you could, it used to be a 750 watt single motor bike was $1,800. Now you get this for $13.99. A lot of speed and power. But whenever I can, I always like giving you Papa Citizen's perspective. He cares a lot about the ride comfort as well, how upright he sits. He likes the BMX style handlebars where you sit really tall. So the WALLKE did that for him, but I think he just got caught up in the power of this TUTTIO bike. It's hard to, once you've ridden all these fast bikes, it's hard to go back to something that only goes like 28 or less miles per hour. That's all I got for you today. I hope you found this video helpful, maybe informative, or at least entertaining. If you did, consider hitting subscribe. See you in the next one. All right, let's go out here and double check this speedometer, see how far off it is. It's a good couple miles an hour off for sure. Cruising at 41 there, 42 says 37. About 5 miles an hour off. Cruising at 37.